Selamünaleyküm değerli hocalarım. Lütfü Bey, Necdet Bey teşekkür ederim. Yani bu olayın bu şekilde başarılı oluşturulması bizimden ve bize gerçekten çok destek oldunuz. I will have very short discussion. It will not take more than 10 minutes. It will be, since our workshop is about the education and curriculum, so I want to give you a very short, maybe just a flavor of a game introduced in Malaysia by our EXCO member, ICF EXCO member, Dr. Zurina. The name of the game is Muamalat Interactive Game. So why the game is important? And we will go to its important Islamic finance education. So when we look at the Islamic finance, as it was discussed earlier, the main problems in Islamic finance, especially in education level, students coming from 3 different backgrounds. First finance, second Sharia, and third law, which really makes sometimes things difficult. So a student might be very strong in Sharia, but when it comes to implementing, like even calculating the percentage, there are limitations. So this game was introduced with benefits, which is enhancing understanding in muamalat, enhance understanding in Islamic banking products and its aqad flows, enhance understanding Islamic finance processes, enhance Islamic financial planning and management skills, and cultivate philanthropic spirit. So this is how games look. I cannot bring it. In fact, I have one game for Karatai University. I want to take it as original. So inshallah, maybe we can do some projects together. If you have any demand, I think person in charge will be Karatai University. So you can contact them after that. So how to start game? Game is about 31 days. So you start without doing nothing. You just go, and after first round you will get a salary. So like step 1 will be shuffle and put tawakkal cards, and then and strategy to win is which is the most interesting is sadaqah. Now like in Monopoly game, in Monopoly or manager game, which we are familiar with, the winner is the person who gets most money, most funds at the end of the game. But in this game, you have to contribute sadaqah, give zakat. So at the end, 60% will go to zakat contribution, and only 40% what you have in your hands. So which is for dunya and akhirah. And
60% of the income?
No, for all your because during the game you will contribute. You can give sadaqah, which is not compulsory, but up to you. And it will be recorded, and at the end what you will get, all calculations, you will have financial chart, and at the end you will calculate your income. 30% will go for all charity you are given. You will get like profit from that, and 40% whatever you have. You can have house, you can have home, like a car or land. So we have muamalat transactions. The student who plays this game will understand what is musharaka mutanaqisa in implementation, what is bay al-ina. Even we are against that, but the concept is there. And also we go for gold transactions. I think like Prof. Ruslan is implementing this game in her class, and there are also 3 universities now using this game in their curriculum. First is USIM. They're using in fiqh muamalat classes, personal financial planning classes, Sharia audit, and halal compliance audit classes. In UIM, we're going to introducing fiqh muamalat classes and Islamic banking products courses. UUM is using in Prof. Ruslan. In which courses you are using muamalat game?
I have implemented this game with my masters in Islamic finance students. They are bankers and people in the industry, and they like the game. And also, it makes them understand the contracts better. These are, industry players, bankers who have not been exposed to Islamic banking and finance yet. So I started my class for the semester by introducing this game to them. It is an interactive game, very interesting, and just would like to share with you something that prevailed at that point in time is that you see the Sharia people, those from Jakim and with Sharia background, they tend to focus more on the akhirah part, sadaqah, and the ones coming from the bankers, they focus more on the conventional budget. Yeah, so you can see that these traits are coming out, but it's very interesting.
It's and we have one video about the game. Just let me.
Is there a right combination that you aim to achieve in the game?
What kind of right combination? You mean 60 to 40?
I was with. Is there any right combination?
What kind of right
You
combination?
said 60-40 just
Yeah,
now.
there is a hadith telling that you should work for dunya, but don't forget akhirah, which is more important. So, related to that hadith, yeah.
The video is not that clear, sorry.
It's okay. It's just to give an idea.
Is there any website to introduce this game?
Daha yok. Ama şimdi Türkiye'de bunu tercüme edeceğiz inşallah. Karatay Üniversitesi ile ve burada
Karatay.
Türkçe olarak başlayacak.
This game educates player how to manage the money and then to know about Islamic financial concept and educate player how to zakat, sedekah, etc.
Okey, daripada apa yang saya nampak untuk permainan
Sen
ini,
bankacılara training
kita
yapıyorlar.
dapat memahami
Üniversite öğrencileri.
produk Islamik yang ada dekat dalam Malaysia ni. Maksudnya kita lebih faham bila kita main tu apa segala transaction ataupun akad yang berlaku di antara bank.
Maybe you can translate simultaneously.
Dalam tu. So,
You can give
kita
translation.
just follow je. Dan senang untuk kita memahami bagaimana ianya berlaku.
It's saying that by playing the game, even if you've not been exposed to Islamic finance knowledge, contracts and products,
Before that,
you
I
will learn all of these akad and contracts while playing the game.
For this today training, and when we play game, we learn a lot of the Islamic financing knowledge, the term. And example, I know what is waro, aiman, and then ba'ina.
Untuk game ni saya rasa kita boleh bagi 4.5 per 5 lah. Sebab ianya mudah dan simple. Walaupun benda tu just kita hanya installment untuk 2-3 je installment, tapi sekurang-kurangnya kita dapat memahami bagaimana.
Well, here I know what he's saying. He said that I will give from 5, I will give only 4 when scaling, because financing up to 3 months. Only 3 months financing, while in real life it's more. So that was only a limitation of the game. But this game will last only 2 hours. 2 hours game. So what they do, they now you see, and also we are planning to do that, to provide trainings to bankers. So it's 2-day training. First day you will introduce, you will give brief introduction about muamalat. Second day they will play the game, and first half they will play the game. Second half you will evaluate them.
So, how can we get the game? For example, if we would like to have it for our students.
So inshallah, after this you will contact Karatay University, who will be our representative here for the game, and we are planning to translate the game into Turkish.
Okay.
Yeah, which I think will be much more better, and it will be really good asset to have. For courses, by the way, you can start. Also, the game was idea to have game as an assessment. Like at the end of the class, of the course, of the semester, you are going to the relevant course and ask students to play the game. Because without knowledge of muamalat in Islamic finance and banking, student is unable to do even records. So you can understand, you will have assessment to the knowledge level.
So the game takes 2 hours?
2 hours only. Yeah. So I want to distribute these cards for you, just to look Right? This is cards, because for every day you will have card, and you cannot buy anything, neither land or property or car, by cash. You have to go to financing. The only thing you can buy for cash is gold. So it means the student will learn how to do financing, how to do records, how to do auditing. This is important. So just I want to just give you to see, have a short idea, and inshallah maybe soon we will have Turkish version. This one I will collect that.
Accounting interactive game. Economics interactive game.
That one will be developed by UAE because they have to know the first one to see we can interact or
Are you planning to have a simulated version of it? Because for our management students, we are, for example, having a simulation for their financial
Siz eğitimde
course.
you
finished? That game actually very
Benim bu
much
kadar. Sadece oyun tanıtmak istedim. Ne olduğunu.
university.
Yeah,
This one
because-
can go with
Yeah,
commercial.
because when they can play with different people around the world.
Yani çocuklar herhalde gülüyorlar böyle şeylere.
Çocuklar için değil ama bu.
Çocuk yakın yani. Bizim üniversite öğrencileri. The guys. The guys.
You could exclude those controversial conflicts like Balaina.
You are right, doctor, but it is there, so at least the student should have idea what is that. Not necessary to implement. Not necessary. It's not about implementation, but
I think you can also say that if it is something that is not encouraged or not acceptable, then that could be the lesson that is being taught in the game.
It should be explained by the
So what
instructor.
is explained by the instructor? Because now students will take it, they think that is the real thing. That should be done. While on the contrary, it is something like superficial say.
Yeah.
So I think this should be explained.
Yeah,
You buy enough,
serve.
then you get less.
Even Tawarruk is here. So it should be explained.
Tawarruk is here, but it's also in Islamic finance in Malaysia. It's not only here.
The controversial
So, Prof. Marcela,
should express
philosophy interactive game. Can you imagine?
So what about
He designed an Islamic bicycle and then he
What about the idea of the game
pişman
itself?
oldu. He regretted.
You teach an Islamic contract through
Through the
a
game.
Yeah.
Yes.
or increase the the awareness or financial literacy, Islamic financial
Yes, exactly.
literacy through
Exactly.
this game.
So
That
So
we
is
will-
there any critic in
How more effective learning?
There are many awards given to this game, by the way, in Malaysia. There are no critics. There are many awards.
Ya bu bizim finans
It's like an Islamic monopoly, exactly. And it's a very interesting part that also how to determine the winner. The winner is not the one who has more mal for dunya,
sanal portföy.
also who did some charity and gives zakat.
Do you have any other question or critic
No,
for
I
this
just
issue?
would like to highlight, I think that this is not alternative to the usual in-class training.
Yeah.
It's just a complementary, something which is introduced within a semester of 2 hours of playing games. So of course, we will do the explanation and things like that, discussing the current issues. But it's just something to create that interest before the semester starts. So I think it's not an alternative. Yes, it's not an alternative. It's just something which is complementing.
So this is away from face-to-face normal.
It's not a way. It's just an addition.
Additional.
Just an application of knowledge.
Even we are against of tawarruk, Prof. But you teach tawarruk in the class, right? So this is also teaching instrument. Yeah, we teach tawarruk in the class. We teach what is we teach what is tawarruk. So there is no harm for student to know what is it exactly and how it's, even though at the end he knows that it's not the right way, right? This is all from me, and critics I will convey to Dr. Zurina, who is the inventor. I am just
Marketing.
not only marketing. I came for introduce, because it is really, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, it is interesting idea. And when students came, because we play in IIBF, we play with my colleagues, with master students, with PhD students. And what was interesting, those from Sharia backgrounds, they cannot, because during the game you have to do your recording. You have your recording book to do your accounting things. So they have struggle in do recording. Even as a lecturer, you may know from the game where you should focus for the student, which is important, I think, in Islamic finance, because we are coming from 3 different backgrounds.
What is the function of this day for day 19?
Okay, because game is 31 days. Şunun gibi.
Each day different
Evet.
akat?
Her bir günde different akat.
Akat. You have 31 different akats.
Yeah, and for
contracts.
not yes, 31 different, 29 because there is also gold. Yeah, and what is interesting, like you buy the gold. If someone coming to your gold, he should pay profit for you. Like he is not paying profit, but your gold increasing in value for you.
Like,
Yani altının değeri artıyor. O size bir şey ödemiyor ama sizin altınızın değeri artıyor. Yani %10 altının değeri artıyor. Kendiniz gelirseniz altın üzerine kendi altınızı...
Nakit ödeme yapıyor mu?
Yok siz hiçbir şey ödemiyor. Sadece altın değeri artıyor. Hepsi bu. But if the person coming to your land aldığınız eve geliyorsa ya da yerinize ya da arabanıza size kira ödemek zorunda. Öyle bir şey.
Like Monopoly.
Ama sadaka vermek, mesela o her bir oyunda, her bir maaş aldığınızda size optional sadaka vermek optional var. Yani bu sizi kimse zorlamıyor ama verebilirsiniz. Ve ilginç olan biliyor musunuz hocam neydi? Biz ilk oynadığımızda kimse sadaka vermedi. Gerçekten kimse sadaka vermedi. Hepimiz ilk olarak herkes altın almakla meşguldü. Çünkü altını direkt kar altın. Yani oyun bitti geldik şimdi hesaplama biz sadaka vermemişiz. Bizim grup vermemiş. Ama bizim grup finans background'lu verdi. Şaria background'lu grup sadaka vermiş. Bu çok ilginç tespitler aslında.
Oyunla aslında finansal davranışları da yani onları da analiz edilebilir.
Deneylere benziyor biraz.
Demek ki eğitimin de etkisi var. Şeria eğitimi alanlar daha
ona sadaka vermiş. Onların grubu sadaka, zakat vermiş. Bizim grup hiçbir şekilde. When we play the game as IBF students, our group was finance background students.
That's only one variable. We don't know their background, their socioeconomic situation. We don't know their background, their socioeconomic situation, gender. The education background is only one variable in this.
It can be used also as Dr. Hafsa said, to assess Prof. Mehmet Saray said, to assess the behavior of the people, of the
that means this game, someone must teach us before we go into it.
That's why we have trainings. That's why we have trainings for the game. 1.5 day we have training. But once you are trained, you can teach for your students during the course. For course, we have 2 days training program for the game. We have also one semester training program for students, which are different.
Our colleague from there.
Hakan.
So this game a few months earlier, we discussed within our college, it's actually a game to learn about it and increase the Islamic financial literacy.
Yes.
But when I checked, I think it's not commercialized yet. I couldn't find it in Malaysia. They are not selling in the markets or anywhere.
They are selling in the market. It's in Kinokuniya. They're selling in Kinokuniya. Yeah. Also, you can buy from us.
I didn't know this.
We also market that.
But instead of maybe master students, or we can use this if we can, because nowadays youth can play Monopoly. Instead of playing Monopoly, so if we can increase this game and make more commercialized, they can learn about more Islamic act instead of Monopoly.
And there is another version of the game. This is for professionals. You should have Islamic finance knowledge, strong Islamic finance knowledge to play this. But there is another version which is community edition, simpler. Yani daha basit şekilde çıkıyor şimdi bir ay içinde. 6. And there should be one financial manager which is separate person. Shouldn't be one of the players.
Patentini aldın mı hocam?
Pardon?
Patenti
Karatay'a gidecek inşallah.
Aldın mı?
İnşallah anlaşacağız. Evet.
Fiyat nedir?
Oyunun fiyatı 350 ringgit.
350 ringgit. $100.
$100'dan daha az. Şimdi $100 430.
$80.
Evet. 80 lira. Ama o community edition'ı sadece 150 ringgit. O daha basit ve daha böyle okul öğrencilerinin de oynayabileceği bir şekilde düzenlemişler. Çok güzel.
Do you have its online version or?
Online version don't have, but you are open to develop like software. You are
Yeah.
Software de yapılabilir.
Probably it will be
Yani
as we can develop the online version.
This is the idea that we can do together.
You can have the simulation version of it that people can play from all around the world actually.
True. Yeah. This is the next step. This is the next step.
Advanced version will also have riba contract. Yeah. Don't pass go. Go straight to Jahannam.
Yes, it will be very advanced.
Very harsh.
Very didactic.
Riba is harsh.
There is no tawbah in it.
Unless you go for tawbah.
If you cannot come until Tawbah and game finish, then
I think the discussion is finished here. We are very thankful to you. And now we have a session for open discussion and free discussion. You may share your ideas, your opinions. We have noted, as you remember, one of the issues for the afternoon session. Pros and cons of naming the programs as Islamic economics. What is the negative and positive sides of this naming, and is that separating us from the mainstream economics, or defining a special area for our studies? What do you think about the naming used in the area of Islamic economics?
Yes, absolutely. If you agree, besides the nomenclature, just so that we use the remaining time in a good way. Besides the nomenclature issue, I think the other very important issue was about human resource.
Yeah, human resource is also another.
To that, I think we should spend some time on what is the way forward. What is it that we want to do? So, whatever time we have left, we should try to divide it maybe in this, at least in these three, if not more than that.
The human resource problem is, I think, the most important problem of the area now, especially in Turkey. There are many newly founded programs, and the needs for lecturers, for researchers, for professors is in advance now.
Yeah, if I may just begin with the first one.
Yes.
Personally, I think through experience, nomenclature may not be an issue in as much as it's the issue of the content. Because experience tells that sometimes people use that word Islamic as a catchphrase. So the moment you put something Islamic, it explains by itself. Like one of the North African speakers says, this is Muslim psychology. Who am I? I'm a Muslim. So what is Islam? A perfect religion, therefore I'm perfect. So we go by that kind of an argument. So based on different jurisdictions, so the dictates of this term should be decided by the nature of the universities and nature of the place and the cultural and social sensitivity around the use of those words. Like Professor was mentioning that, for example, in the university UAE, since it's automatically an Islamic university, so everything under that umbrella is Islamic. But the only disadvantage we had was when they were looking at universities with Islamic courses, our university was left out because the word Islamic doesn't appear on our course. Yeah, so we're left out. So it depends on the jurisdiction. But I would really prefer the use, if possible, for those who are moving at the early stage in their life to lessen the use of the word Islamic. Because if you don't meet those contents and then the market has expectations for something called Islamic, and then the graduates don't fulfill that, then you don't only destroy the institution, but you destroy Islam in general. So those are things that we should be careful when we use. But if we are sure of our quality, that is going to promote Islam, because that's the end of the day. What we want is al-Islam ya'lu wa la yu'la alayh. We want Islam to be supreme. So if it's going to go against that spirit, then we should review our position.
Thank you. Okay. What do you think about this problem, Professor Saraj?
Well, this problem can be, explained in Turkish context, maybe in a different way, using Islamic. Of course, we are now dealing with this. Actually, no, as you already know, the Islamic financial institutions never used the prefix Islamic. They started with special finance house. Then we adopted the participation, and now we'll.
In academic level, we define them as Islamic financial institutions.
Yeah, it is a very hard challenge. It is a challenge actually in front of us. If we insist on this participatory, whatever, it may create problem. The body of knowledge and the literature has long been formed as in the form of Islamic. And now there will be a important summit in November, I think, and the name Global Participation Finance Summit, something like that, organized by the Presidency of Turkey. Now, it's the collaboration with the Turkish Association of Participation Banks and the MÜSİAD. And the critics were raised against this. I mean, we still, how long will we still keeping using this participation? Or should, maybe this is the right way, as you point out, some wrongdoings, some misconceptions, some bad implementations, practices, harm the concept, the deen itself. But my view is we should focus on the substance. Substance will be the priority, and in terms of I have shared this idea to my colleagues. Instead of opening new programs with the name title Islamic Finance Education, we should develop courses to offer in other conventional programs, and we should focus on interdisciplinary studies and all other disciplines other than economics and finance. Other fields such as genetics, medicine, physics, quantum sociology, quantum physics. All these disciplines should collaborate with the Islamic studies.
So even if we don't call the program Islamic, but courses can be.
Yeah.
Right? Especially in universities that, let's say, national universities can introduce courses.
I think there is no Islamic economics. There are Muslim economics. The economics made by Muslim people. Yeah, is there anybody?
I would like to comment.
Yeah, please.
In my discipline, which is accounting, that I'm surprised when I saw a bachelor in Islamic accounting. Primarily because in Malaysia, this accounting is a professional qualification. So therefore, if you were to say bachelor in Islamic accounting, you may not get the certification from our professional body. It's the same with Indonesia. So you just say bachelor in accounting, but you have Islamic input. Like for us, we have 4 courses in Islamic accounting. We have some Sharia auditing, we have Zakat accounting, we have accounting for Islamic financial institutions. So because of that, we have got certification from our professional body. So it is different with different disciplines. So I'm just saying that now what we're trying to do with our accounting program is that the courses must have Islamic input. So slowly our lecturers are putting in the Islamic input. So inshallah, eventually, even though it's named Bachelor of Accounting, we have got all the Islamic input in there.
Good. A good experience. Yeah.
Let us welcome Professor Adem. He is founding rector of Sabahattin Zaim University. Formerly he was director.
Photo 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Photo with you outside your office.
You are welcome.
And one of the old mayors of Konya, that you will be tomorrow.
But your glasses
tomorrow
are
they'll be in,
thicker.
they'll be in Selçuk. Yeah, you are the ex-mayor of Selçuk Belediyesi.
Oh, yeah. 10 years.
10 years, yeah.
Now he prefers to make academic work. Likes to read, to translate, to publish.
Thank you. And he's currently professor of international affairs, right? In Istanbul University.
Economics.
In economics department.
Yeah.
Good.
Welcome.
Welcome. Do you want to say something?
No, thank you. I am listening.
I think the issue has a philosophical background, and I know Professor Alparslan Açıkgenç is one of the experts, because it goes back to 19th century, and in pre-modern Muslim societies there were no suffix like Islamic fiqh or Islamic economics or Islamic something, and when I think the Europe became the center for production of knowledge, and then it has been changed. So I know Professor Alparslan Açıkgenç, he translated some books and he wrote something on Islamization of knowledge, and he may say something about these issues, especially from the philosophical perspective.
I don't know if the things I will say will be relevant, because the topic is more financing.
Yeah, but it is Islamic, economics.
But maybe let me share one of my experiences, and I had a trouble with in the past, because people, including myself, also we use this adjective quite a lot, Islamic. In the past, actually, that was never used. Even the other day.
Islamic philosophy.
Islamic, yeah.
Yeah. So, Ibn Sina and Muslim philosophers, they wrote in philosophy, but they never titled Islamic or
they didn't.
Islamic medicine. Yeah, Islamic medicine.
I don't know if you will share this with me or not. And if you pay attention to this, probably it will be very, very good for future uses. Especially using the term with certain human activities, such as calling a university Islamic university, a very big mistakes. I realize this, and especially the worst thing is calling a political party Islamic party, like the one in Malaysia. I know they have something like that. When I was telling this, they had hard time to understand. I said, let me give you one example. Are we both Muslims? He said, yes. Are you from Islamic party? Yes. But I oppose your idea. Now, am I non-Muslim or what? Because you call yourself Islamic party, I oppose the Islamic party, I should be non-Muslim.
Non-Islamic.
Non-Islamic, exactly. You see the mistake? It's a very big mistake. You should never use this term, because it is universal. It doesn't belong to individuals, but it belongs to the whole community. So that is a big mistake. But with respect to activities like this, saying, finance, because definitely we want to Islamize. I don't think that term would be wrong. But I noticed this. Let me see if you agree with me or not. Actually, with respect to Islamic values, if we want to infuse into our activities, referring to those values, we use the term Islamic. Now, so that means let us not use the term Islam for those, but rather refer to the values. Because if there is a mistake, it will come to us. It won't go to Islam. So that is why, this is the big thing. I noticed, because I was criticized a lot when I was in the US, and I said, why these people are criticizing? I started thinking, and I said, in the past, our scholars never used this term Islamic, and we are constantly using it. Then I realized, I said, actually, we don't refer to Islam as a religion, but we rather refer to the values Islam brought, and because they are Islamic, and we use it. So this is what we should pay attention, and maybe I don't know if we can use the term Islamic economics or not, or what kind of term, something that expresses all the values universally referring to our economic activities. If you can find words like that, terms and concepts, maybe that would be much better.
Thank you.
Actually, there are such attempts, such as sharing economy, participatory economy.
You see it, yeah, you see it. When you think, ideas come.
But Prof, I think even in your writing, unless you have changed your position,
yes.
But even in your writing, you gave an explanation about this.
Benevolent.
When our scholars of the past didn't use the adjective Islamic, it's because Islam was the reference point.
Exactly.
So you could talk about economics without saying Islamic economics. But because we are not in that position today, if you want to present your view, you want to make sure people know what you are trying to present. So you use the term Islam in front of it,
right?
So it would be wonderful if we could come to a stage whereby you could just say economics, you could just say finance, and it will be Islamic finance that is the reference point.
Right.
But at the moment, it's not like that. Right?
At the moment, it's not.
So what would you do if you want to make the change?
So it is a temporary solution, actually. I always emphasize this. This term is used as a temporary tool. But the ultimate goal should be using economics on solely.
Should make it mainstream.
Mainstream. So,
yes.
Or as we have in all Islamic languages, the word iktisad, which is the word we use.
I am sure you must have seen, even in Arabic, they use terms like al-fiqh al-Islami. How can you use that? Because it is saying Islami.
Just to make a very interesting joke, what you said about Islamic party and then non-Islamic party.
Yes.
Somebody was telling about this in Indonesia.
Yes.
So just giving a joke, they call them NU. So the leader came to speak. Then suddenly he found his wallet was missing.
Oh.
So he looked for the wallet, he could not find. Then suddenly somebody brought the wallet back. He says, so you took it? He says, yes. So why did you bring it back? He says, I saw there they wrote NU in the wallet. Nahdlatul Ulama. So I thought NU cannot steal from another NU member. So I brought it back. Then he asked me, he says, suppose NU was not there, what will you do? He said, risk, alhamdulillah.
Yeah, and I think this enough discussion about this topic. Thank you for your good contribution. The second topic was the human resource problem, scarce in human resources. May you open this topic a little bit?
I think I showed it before the break. I mean, it's already limited in terms of numbers. The people that we have who can confidently present what we want to present. And by this, I mean understanding your own turath, your own heritage, at the same time also understanding the modern discipline, because this is what we are teaching in all universities. Unless we come to the point where we are able to develop totally new, original. But at the moment, this is what we are facing. Right? So it is already in terms of numbers challenging. But in addition to that, the qualifications of all of us to present this. Right? So if I wanted to teach accounting from Islamic perspective, what is it that I need to know? If I wanted to teach fiqh, but to make it relevant, would the Muamalat interactive game be sufficient, or would I need other things? Right? So this is a major challenge. And the second point that I mentioned, the curriculum design is also determined by all of us, right? So if we feel that you divide the curriculum 50%, 10%, 10%, then you need human resource that reflects the curriculum. Right? And as I tried to show, our curriculum is not according to our human resource. At least we need to realign. We need to realign us to reflect a curriculum of Islamic economics or Islamic finance in this case, right? We have to realign. And I think that's an immediate challenge. We need to do it short term. In Malaysia we have 400 people. In Turkey
100.
100?
Yeah.
So we need to make sure that this 100 in Turkey are able to deliver what we want to deliver in the curriculum. So that's short term. And long term, I think you need to send for masters and PhD. This I think is the big, the two things that we need to do. So immediate term and then long term. Immediate term is by short term programs. Longer term is by further graduate education.
If I may just add to what Prof. Aslam has said, I think another big problem also we have is dualism. Dualism where people who are trained from Sharia perspective, they tend to look at the non-Sharia as if you are not like us. And then the people who are not in that area says, you guys just go to your books, you're not here. So I think in the immediate term, if I may add Prof. Aslam's word, is to have a kind of a synergy. Meaning in a course, we need to have these two kind of people teaching. So that one will give the conventional perspective, the other one will give some of the Islamic perspective. That means each course you need to have more than one person teaching, assuming you share those resources. And I was very happy in one of the university which says, I don't know, was it Marmara, that we get help from the Islamic studies faculty, something like that. Marmara.
Faculty of Theology.
Exactly, Faculty of Theology. So if we have this synergy in the short run, then it may tend to satisfy those kind. Like in our university also, what we do is we call practitioners, and I'm sure also somebody was saying here, you do call people from the industry to come and share their experience in those courses. So in the short run, it can help. In the long run, something which the university was trying to do is to create a new breed of thinking. And we had what we call double degree program, where somebody will produce a graduate that has a balance of these two worlds. They go and do practical. So you have a new kind of human resource that will cater for the market ahead. So unless we try to have this synergy not only at a country level, you may also have at cross-border level to have that sharing of resources. Then in the long run, like Professor Aslam said, we may need to create those kind of breeds. Sending them in the West, you'll have a graduate, but again, they will fall in one of the two groups. And sending them to the Middle East, you will also increase one of the other group. So I think we need to have a kind of an experiment within our environment. Whether in Turkey, you know your environment well, what is this kind of a breed that can mold these two perspectives together so that they chart the direction in the future.
One of the most concrete benefits of these interdisciplinary Islamic economics and finance programs started in Turkey in 5 years from now is they gather these ilahiyat or school theology faculty with the economic faculty together. I mean, we gather together, we sit and talk about the curriculum, everything. Before that, the faculty, ilahiyat faculty, they didn't communicate with economic faculty. So this interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary program gathers these different profiles together, and they creates a synergy as well. come together in these thesis, defense exams, evaluations.
I go back to the substance point that you mentioned earlier. I think this is very, very important because in our department, we had for many years a double degree. Our students would do Bachelor Economics and then transfer some courses, because our economics program has actually quite a lot of courses that would also be in the Islamic review knowledge area. So we transfer, and then they will do another 13 courses. They get double degrees. So this was going on for many years. But when we spoke to our students, they told us something which now tells us it is not just bringing two disciplines together in the sense of take 15 courses from this faculty and 15 courses from this faculty you get. It's what is being taught. It is how it is being taught. Because the students say it is like a different world. Not only the language. Here we have English, there we have Arabic. It's not only language, but even the thinking, the whole experience of studying in the class is different. In economics, relatively speaking, we encourage, interaction. But maybe in the Islamic studies, it's one way. I'm talking, you listen. So I think if we are talking about this new type of interdisciplinary or integrative curriculum,
comparative,
the substance of both sides need to be looked at. Yeah. So it's not just, adding the fiqh course or the kalam course, but how you connect it. I think that's the challenge.
Can I respond to you, Prof. Aslam? Most recently we had a meeting. I think Prof. Nagdat would be interested. Prof. Nagdat, the second accounting course that we have right now will be taught by people from İLKE on the fiqh issues, and the accounting issues will be taught by us, because we find that the reveal knowledge students actually want to know about zakat accounting, but the ustaz there is not able to show them how to calculate. So from next semester onwards, we are having 2 lectures. I think that
one from İLKE,
one from teaching fiqh issues there, and ours will be teaching the accounting aspect. So inshallah it will work. We are trying all of it.
I have taught that course.
That's right. That's why I say you may be interested. Yeah.
Thank you. Let me bring it back.
Yeah.
Okay, can I?
Yeah, you may.
So I think one of the purpose here is to find out what are the common areas that we can work with. Alright? So we talk about curriculum, talent. And then maybe we can have a joint conference of sorts, some workshops. I think it's a new plan, is it? And maybe research one topic that we can work on more financing. And then I have here from Moham on SME. This sort of area we can also collaborate. Do you think so?
Yeah. I mean, these are concrete fields that we can collaborate together. Some people are leaving, so they're
sorting out.
Let's wait them for a while.
At least Dr. Lutfi should be here.
For the Malaysian group, I'm giving also with your colleagues, because I need to turn back to the campus, and it's not so close.
Okay.
Thanks a lot for you. Have a contact. See you inshallah.
Yes.
Ya yetişemedim. Sabahleyin işte olmuş oldu. Şey. Ama İslam ekonomisi de yok hocam.
Öyle diyor.
Yani müşahat tabi de sırahat diyorlar.
Evet, evet.
So we were talking about what to do.
What to do, yeah.
The first thing that comes to mind is this conference that or if we do not want to call it conference, whatever we want to call it, but it has to be something different than all the hundreds of conferences that are being organized. Because really there are so many conferences, right?
Yeah.
So we need to think of something which maybe is focusing on education. Research.
To discuss the issues, special issues related with the education.
Well, I think, during in the meantime, we Turkish colleagues, we in Turkey, I think will be working on these specifying domains, or maybe redefining. We may need develop new domains, or combination of domains, as you call. So specifying the program outcomes, and we have to clarify the outcomes for each courses. These are our own homeworks. So meantime, I think we will need to be working on these duties, tasks. Inshallah, in the next meeting, we will bring more, developed things to the desk, to the table.
We should develop curriculums. We should develop textbooks, new teaching instrument styles, new teaching perspectives, and we should do more.
I mean, if we could assign, maybe not now, but certainly in the next, say, 1 month, we should try to identify what are those areas that we would like to have some research or even case studies. So that they are done over the next 6 to 8 to 9 months. And then when we come for the program, this is, presented. In fact, better still if it can be presented to each other before the program, and then people come already with some views, and so then that program that we organize in 9 months or whenever we do it, it is something that can actually come up with some substantive breakthrough.
Yeah. Do you want that something?
Dictionary also we should try to focus on, because sometimes we are speaking and understanding different ways.
It will be, even if you have a dictionary, people may understand something different, but we should know that which one is different for each other. If we know why it is different, why we understand some terms in a different way, it's okay if we know. But sometimes we do not know that we are using some terms in a different way, in a different manner.
This encyclopedia of terms was something that it was at least 3 decades, if not more, that it was proposed. Until today, I don't think we have this agreed, encyclopedia of terms. So that when I'm speaking, we both understand the same thing. So you are very right, but it hasn't come so far. So I don't know whether this could be one of the things that.
There is one by Isra, compendium of Isra, isn't it?
On what?
Compendium.
Yeah, but it is on what?
Islamic finance.
Probably that's been into the contracts and so on. This is maybe a bit wider. Yes, maybe focusing on the contracts.
But I have a question. Professor Sarah has said that you're coming up with the outcomes and things like that. Now,
O günden beri part-time dersler veriyorum
something that you can rely on and then work on that, rather than come up with your own new set.
2015'te oldu değil mi? 2015'te.
So that it will be faster for you all. Maybe you have some criticisms of ours. That's what I want to hear.
I think I could also echo what Alia has suggested. If you want to be a bit more concrete in our collaborations, perhaps we can focus on 1 or 2 main activities until to be scheduled maybe at the end of the year, and then maybe tackle the lower hanging fruits first, and then rather than focusing into something bigger, something which is doable, feasible at this juncture. Agree on something, and perhaps we can work on it, and give a deadline, like maybe end of the year, something like that. So I think it would be better if you can focus on one or two main ideas.
Very solid and benefit your members.
how can we help and what we can do together. So that's, I think that's something we can work on.
Or how can they help?
Yeah.
Because sharing our curriculum.
Okay, before ending the session, I want to make just two announcements that we are now managing a project in here, İKAM. We are preparing a bibliography of Islamic economics, an online bibliography from 70s to up to date. We are preparing a bibliography that it will be an online bibliography, and when you enter in that bibliography, you will see the topics, the areas, the names, and if you want to do a study, it will make easier to make the literature review to see what is discussed in the past research, what has been done in the Islamic economics area. We are planning to open it in December, in this December. It will consist the studies in English, in Urdu, in Arabic, and in Turkish. And we hope to include the studies in German and French in the near future.
And also Persian.
Yeah, Persian, I said Persian. Yeah. No Persian. We cannot manage the Persian version.
You can edit it.
Yeah, if you may add. Russian? Yeah, in the future we hope to add some other languages. Now it will be it will consist the studies in English, in Turkish, in Arabic, and in Urdu. I think this is the 80% of the literature.
The Malay language.
Malay language, yeah.
We
may do it.
Is responsible. Don't worry.
Okay, we may talk about that.
Can you give us a percentage in this Islamic economics and finance literature in Malaysia? What's the percentage in Malay and English?
With the exception of, well, in terms of programs, with the exception of the IIUM, all other universities teach in Malay. So all the lecturers.
What is the production?
Publication.
What about publication?
Journal and books.
We do have at least one. UKM has one. UUM has one. I think there would at least be, this is without any, at least about 6 or 7 journals in Malay language, which have been moving for the last 15, 20 years maybe.
Really?
You would have quite a number.
What are the books published so far?
And if you bring Indonesia in, it will wipe out the entire literature available.
Okay.
Huge.
You may think about that.
If we find a budget from a Malaysian institution.
We need your help for that. And maybe you heard we just started to publish a journal, Turkish Journal of Islamic Economics, and the fourth volume, the second issue of fourth volume will be published in August, and we are waiting for your contribution into that journal. It is in English. Totally in English, and we are waiting for your contribution for that journal. So, and I think it is time to end this session.
Before ending, last time when I was in Malaysia, Professor Rostin has invited us to a club, and we had a meeting, ICFE meeting, council meeting. And there they mentioned that, also today it is mentioned, for pool of academics, pool of CVs of academics in Islamic economics and finance, you have a template. And you have told me that you would send me a template for Turkish colleagues to fill the CV template and make a pool. You have one for Malaysia, and we can make one for Turkey. Who is who? Teaching what? We can talk about that for this, İKAM can make
database.
Some functions.
So that you can search through any keyword and find academics.
They have a template because the CVs of each person are different. To have a standard one is better. You have some titles on it, isn't it? Asking some questions and answers.
Yeah, I remember mentioning this to you, and then we were trying to get this student who was with us, but I don't know, I don't think it was successful. But I have found the series with me, so we can do something.
İKAM can do the function of having the pool. The Turkish academics making research, publishing, teaching in this area.
Good idea.
Taking the template from ICFE, because if it becomes a standard one, it will be useful. Otherwise, everyone will.
It's another project.
A different format of CV.
It's another project. The database of Turkish Islamic economists.
Yeah. And it shouldn't be difficult in Turkey because the numbers are still.
In fact, our Higher Education Council has a good system to collect the CVs and the research areas.
We did that also first in our case. We went to our Ministry of Education because they have a central database. But it is so complex, the one that the ministry keeps. Finally, the person there said, why don't you just find the information you want on your own? Because we just want for 400. They keep for 25,000.
There is a good database of Turkish Higher Education Council. It's updated.
You make your own database.
Maybe this template is for having the qualification for Islamic economics and finance.
The sub areas of
to find out
qualifications.
What is the qualification on this area?
Is there anybody to add?
Also, they said that
discussion?
They are accepting students as members. Maybe for Turkish students, we can give a call by website, in your website, in Istanbul University's center website. You can announce that students can be member. For students, do you demand any fee?
It's only 50 ringgit, or in USD it's 20 USD.
It is for students.
Only once during study time.
But for students it should be lower.
$20. Bir kere bir tek seferinde $20 alıyorlar.
Az çok değil mi?
Yok, az canım.
Ha?
100 lira ne olacak?
İyi. Öğrenciler zeytin gibi olur.
100 lira değil, 60 lira hocam. Siz kaça çarpıyorsunuz doları? Merkez Bankası'ndasınız hocam, böyle şeyleri söylemeyin. Spekülasyona yol açar. Dolar 5 lira mı olacak diye.
Yuvarlak.
Prof, that is negotiable.
Negotiable.
Including the currency. Right? Yeah, we should.
But maybe students should see something against it. Maybe if they pay $20, you can send a book of, for example, one of your publications.
We also invite them to our workshops with discounted price or even for free. This sounds like this already. We really students.
In Indonesia, what our chapter chairman said, they don't want to collect the fee because paying fee is not easy, but let them attend programs at a discounted fee. So then you also get money. People are also happy to come, and so you don't need to start by asking people to pay.
Yeah.
What about academics? If Turkish academics wish to be member, how will they do it? To which place they will apply? What is the procedure for it?
In our website.
Online?
Yes, they can apply online. Now we are updating it.
Okay.
So they can apply online.
No, that you are updating. Updated already or updated?
No, we have new application form. Right now they can apply already. Just go and join us in ICP, www.icp.net. Join us, become our member.
No, we have here many
But if you
And
want,
there's a membership form.
Yeah, we have also membership forms in both of us. If those who here want to become members, they are most welcome.
Ben Türkçesini söyleyeceğim de bu İslami finansal araçların hatta Türkiye'de de bazı isimleri farklı oluyor ya, böyle evrensel, böyle küresel bir isim, mesela sukuk, her tarafta sukuk diye geçiyor. Ama sonra bizde icare, müşaraka, müşareke, böyle bir ortak bir isim olamaz mı yani?
İngilizce söyleyişleri farklılaşıyor biraz.
Ya, Türkiye'de bile kullanılan çalışmalarda isimler değişiyor.
Müşahede değil ama terminoloji olarak enstrümanlarda bazen farklı şeyler. Evet. Mesela tavarruk, başka şeyler de söyleniyor. Ne deniyor?
Teverruk.
Yok, Türkçe'de hiçbir şey teverruk.
Commodity murabaha deniyor mesela. Commodity murabaha ile tavarruk aynı şey aslında. Değil mi? Evet. Yani sizin söylediğiniz o. İkisinde tek terminoloji
ama
standart
yani çok farklı olmuyor yani. Biliniyor işte. Commodity murabaha, tevarruk.
Okay, thank you for your participation. I'm now ending the session, and then we are here. Before ending session, I will give a voice to Zuljastri. And sorry.
Mohastri.
Yeah.
A
closing
remark. Relates to what Prof. Roslin has said earlier on. I think one of the way forward is perhaps to between Turkish and Malaysia is to identify what specific events or projects that will actually carry on in the near future, immediate future. One of which perhaps in conference seminar, it's not just normal perhaps conference seminar, but it's ending up with publications. Ups of the seminar papers will identify each and respective speakers, coming out with papers and publish in editors' books or whatnot. So that could be one possibility. Another one perhaps is through research. Identify particular areas of research whereby Turkish and Malaysian sites interested most, assigned to respective interested parties from both sides. And then we move on with specific research, be it in any areas. That could be another way to move forward with this. Otherwise, we are talking like Islamic economics. We are talking but not output. I'm sorry.
Why you don't focus on economics? This is a finance.
Yeah, no, yeah, okay. Well, Islamic, finance is okay, but philosophically, we're not just talking about theory, but more applied as well. Right. When I say conduct research with the outputs and apply, it will give tangible products to our collaborations. So this is one of the ways we are moving forwards. Not just theoretical discussions. This is my view. So I might be wrong, but this is what I see. Where as a ways to move forward with these sort of collaborations.
Thank you, Professor
Let me
Hanif.
thank to İKAM for hosting this event.
Yeah, thank you.
I hope this event will be the starting point for friendship of some of us from Malaysia and Turkey. Maybe they will continue their friendship,
Inshallah.
Their contact. Thank you, Dr.
Also, we come together with our Turkish colleagues once more by using this opportunity. And Professor Hanif, do you want to say something?
I just want to echo to Nejdat's point. Really, thank you for organizing this session today. I think this is the first time that we are with so many of our colleagues from Turkey. And I think just the very brief presentations made just now gave so many points for us to think about. But I also agree with our comments made by Prof. Moha. Even if we are not able to finalize it now, but certainly if we can give ourselves, say, maybe 1 week or 10 days. So maybe Dr. Zuljastri has has now a new job to do, post-workshop. Within 7 to 10 days, he will continue sending WhatsApp to everybody until we give him what he wants. Okay? At least 1 or 2 things that we want to do in the next 6 months. Yeah? So
Okay,
I
good.
think we need to make sure that something comes out of this.
Inshallah.
So we hope that it will bear fruits. Inshallah.
Inshallah. Thank you. Is there anybody to add something?